We got a video reaction though. Y'all remember a story about a young woman? I can't even remember the detail. I just know I haven't seen this video, by the way, guys. But I remember this girl's face being, she was accusing men of rape, and it wound up being a lie. And everybody was calling for this young woman, there need to be charges. Well, I can't believe it. She may be facing charges. Shouts out to Nate the Lawyer. I really love Nate the Lawyer. If you're not subscribed to Nate the Lawyer and you want to be, you know, updated on all some of like the scandals and shenanigans going on in the world, Nate the Lawyer and Pink Book Lessons are people you should be watching. Let's get to this. This right here is insane.
Now, last year, 22-year-old Eleanor Williams was jailed for 8.5 years after falsely claiming she'd been raped by multiple men and trafficked by an Asian grooming gang.
Welcome back. My next guest has spent the last few years in a living nightmare after being falsely accused of rape by a woman he barely knew. Jordan Trengrove was just 18 when he met Eleanor Williams on nights out in Cumbria.
This woman got 8 years in prison for falsely accusing men of doing horrible things to her. Let's talk about it. This is Eleanor Williams. She grew up in the UK and...
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that face? I didn't remember the name until he just said it. I remember her. I remember her. Man, that's the face of evil. You gotta watch yourself when you're dealing with these chicks, man.
She grew up in the UK and, according to court records, she had a, quote, difficult childhood and she had some self-harm issues at a young age. Now, Eleanor didn't get along with her mom and stepdad, so she was able to move out at the age of 16 to her own apartment. Now, in 2017, Eleanor went to the police and claimed that a man she met at a party assaulted her. She pointed the man out to police and he was arrested, questioned, but later on he was released because Eleanor withdrew her support for the prosecution.
Right, so the lifts are on now and we're recording. So
Exclusive police footage shows Williams' deception began 3 years earlier when she said she'd been raped at a party. She withdrew her involvement, but a year and a half later, she makes a fresh allegation.
That new allegation was against a man named Jordan Trengrove. Now, he spent something like 70 days in jail based on this false allegation.
70 days in jail? Oh, nah, bro. Nah, bro. I'm gonna have to see about you when I get out. I'm gonna have to see about you. Let me fix my damn chain. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Make sure I'm presentable out here in these streets.
Allegation.
22-year-old Jordan Trengrove had the word spray painted on his house. He spent 73 days in prison whilst awaiting trial, sharing a cell with a convicted sex offender charged on the basis of Williams's false claims.
I didn't want to be alive. I said to my own mum, I'm going to come out of prison in a box because I can't do this. I've done nothing wrong and I'm being treated like I have. So what's the point in being here, you know what I mean? I was so scared that I was going to get so many years over my head that for something that I didn't do. And now I've just got to make a positive out of this and try and get some help out there for the people who, like myself, have been to prison for something that they haven't done.
Now you think 2 allegations may be enough, but no, she goes on. She then makes another allegation against a local businessman, Mohammed Ramazan, and she says that he does horrible things to her. Check it out.
One man, Mohammed Ramazan, a local businessman in Barrow, of grooming her from the age of 12, of selling her, auctioning her off in a plot, the prosecution said, straight from that Liam Neeson movie Taken, that was all about, you know, trafficking and auctioning off young...
He ain't just say that.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
He said she got her story from a Liam Neeson movie. Dog, he ain't just say that. Yeah, boycott Activision. Yeah, he had to sleep next to a sex offender. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. Let's keep going.
Women, of making her work in a brothel.
That's right. She watched the movie Taken, stole the plot, and said this guy had done that to her. And we're not even halfway through all the allegations. She made more.
When police are called to her home,
You alright?
injured and seemingly intoxicated, she makes more claims of being trafficked. An investigation takes place, and this is the innocent young man she accuses. CCTV from that night shows the pair met by chance in Preston when he asks her for a lighter. It's Williams who pursues a conversation. She's then seen on camera in Barrow and Furness walking home with no visible injuries. But when police arrive at her flat 20 minutes later, this is what they find.
I'll help you. I'll help you. She'll get you an ambulance.
In court, a judge ruled these injuries were self-inflicted and that she was play acting.
Weed? Okay. Yes, great.
He also found there was no evidence that she was mentally unwell.
Now, I don't know if you guys can recognize the escalation. First, it was just, I'll tell the police, and retract it. Then she tells the police the story, but they found it as false. Now she's actually faking injuries, making to really make it seem like these men did something to her. And again, the reason why she's not prosecuted at this point in time is because of the whole believe all women, and we don't want real victims to come forward, so we don't want...
When, as a woman, and all the ladies in the chat, I need y'all to close y'all ears. Sorry. When and you gotta put yourself in their shoes, right? If you're a woman and you can like get your way through the world falsely accusing people of stuff and you know there's gonna be no consequences, I mean, that's power, right? That's power. If you can get a man out of a high-ranking position by accusing him of doing something he didn't do, and you know there's gonna be no consequences, what's the downside? My boss is getting on my nerve. He keep telling me I'm late. He make more money than me and it's pissing me off. I think he's incompetent. Hit him with a rape charge. Let me just get him in his room, close the door, get him in his office. Close the door, be friendly, come out of here. And I'm gonna just go to HR. I'm gonna go to the police and say, hey, man, that man touched me when we was in there with the door closed. There's no consequences. I once was dating a chick, and this is a chick who did cheat on me, by the way. And she was telling me all the signs before, like I was being a goofy. I was young. I was like 22, 23. Okay. Which is why I feel bad for Travis Hunter, but whatever. She told me that her auntie taught her that even when she gets caught, keep denying. Never admit it. She told me that before I found out she was cheating. But so I didn't get the hint. I feel like during that time she was trying to tell me like, nigga, I'm cheating on you right now. The fuck? You ain't gonna do nothing about it. In my personal opinion. But when you're a woman and you can just blatantly say, this person did this to me and there's gonna be no consequences for lying, then of course you're gonna do stuff like this.
Punish the liars. But this emboldens her to continue to lie. Okay, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Ground News. Okay, this is Ground News. Now, I think it's important for you about the story. Dad says system is rigged. Dad says system. Now, if you know nothing about this story, look at how the narrative on the left is being portrayed. Jordan Neely's dad says system is rigged. Absolve former Marine who killed a New York subway passenger by strangulation. So we have things like strangulation, unfair, the system is rigged. But what are they saying on the right? Or this one, Marine vet Daniel Petty cleared in death of violent homeless man. This is why I love Ground News. You really get to see the biases come out in the news media. On the left, they're holding that Jordan Neely was some type of angel, while on the right, Daniel Penny, he's a hero. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, Ground News is my go-to news.
Oh, this is still the ad. Well, I was confused. I'm like, what the fuck? How did we skip to talking about Jordan Neely? Okay, there we go. All right.
A complete overview of the way the news is trying to spin a story either from the right or the left-leaning sources. So go to ground.news/need to get that 50% off the Advantage plan and unlimited access to Ground News. Now, with renewed confidence, she came up with some more allegations. But this time, the allegations went mega viral.
And it began with this Facebook post.
I think this is the hardest post I'm ever going to write. I didn't want to share this because I'm scared of the judgment that will come with it. People need to be looking out for young girls and protecting them.
Alongside the graphic photos, Ellie Williams claimed she was being tortured and exploited at the hands of an Asian grooming gang.
Pictures of Ellie Williams, her young face and body covered in scars and bruises, were like a grenade thrown into the middle of this town. Barrow was torn in two, divided between the people who believed Ellie had been a victim of an Asian grooming gang and those who felt it was an elaborate racist lie. There were protests on the street, dark conspiracies online, a community profoundly damaged.
So let's step back for a second. Eleanor said that she essentially was kidnapped and being trafficked by some Asian gang. And during that time, they had her doing some wild, crazy stuff. But UK has a lot of surveillance. And police started investigating. You know what? I'll show you exactly what the police found.
Are resolved in the most dramatic way. At court, a raft of damning evidence showing Ellie Williams has made up the whole story. Here she is on CC.
Made up the whole story. Now, imagine being a part of that community and you believed her. You believed her. And now everybody who you beefing with now because they didn't believe her and you come out and you hear that she all made it up, they come out dancing on you. Dumbass. Idiot. Believe all women, huh? Yeah, how you feel now? You feel like a goofy? You gonna apologize? Nope. Okay, we're gonna continue to dance on you. It's gotta stop. It's gotta stop.
CCTV footage calmly booking herself into a hotel in Blackpool, supposedly at the time she'd been trafficked there. Here she is buying snacks in a local shop. And here, perhaps the most extraordinary piece of evidence. Ellie buys a hammer which the jury are told she uses to inflict horrific injuries on herself.
Clearly see on this is an evolution. You've got an awful allegation in 2017, a much worse allegation in 2019, and then weeks later, boom, it properly snowballs into a massive, multi-handed, organised crime group.
Cumbria police say this is a totally unique case.
Now, Eleanor was arrested and prosecuted for her lies. Now, since her lies ranged over years and affected multiple men, the judge took very little pity on her. Now, I think it's important to note that most time, women who make these lies don't get investigated, get no jail time, and get absolutely nothing. But Eleanor got a shock.
Ellie Williams was convicted of 9 charges of perverting the course of justice and today sentenced to 8.5 years in jail.
There is no explanation for why the defendant would commit these offences.
Hold on. Come on, man. I understand it's the UK and, you know, I'm American and, you know, I don't understand y'all's customs and stuff like that. the hell is on your head, man? That's gotta stop. Anyway, let me get back.
She has gone to extraordinary lengths to create false accusations, including causing herself significant injury.
A brief statement from Ellie herself was read out in court. I'm not saying I'm guilty, she said, but I know that I have done wrong on some of this, so I'm sorry. Outside the court, the question, would that be enough for the men Ellie Williams accused of and exploitation?
I feel no sense of triumph, only sadness. For the loss of the years, the impact on my family, here we are, and the true impact that this will have on true victims. That's the loss here.
So Eleanor Williams lied on multiple men. Think about 6 or 7 different men making up allegations of torture and all of this other stuff. Now, the sad part about this story is that why did it take so many lies before police were able to lock this woman up? Just imagine if they would have arrested her after the first lie, right? When the one that she retracted. Then what after the second lie? There were multiple times police could have stopped this and saved these innocent men from these accusations, but they didn't because they wanted to, quote, believe all women and we want to help other victims. But in the sense, the police believing that they were helping other victims come forward by not holding this woman accountable did the reverse and actually created victims. And those victims happen to be the men that Eleanor Williams accused of.
But we can't care about the men. Nobody cares about the men. Fuck you. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.